Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video of me, Tom Dollimore. I'm the current #1 ranked manager on the Fantasy Football Scout Hall of Fame, and I started this season as the #1 ranked manager on the FPL Research Manager rankings. I hope you had a great game week 10. So taking a look at how I did in game week 10, another green arrow, finished on 78 points, and we're at that game week 10 first checkpoint where I aim to be in the top 1 million, and we are currently ranked 535,000, so well ahead of the target and happy days. So just running through the team, we had 6 points, another delivery from the Arsenal defence. Raya on 6 points. Then Guardiola quite disappointed with that actually, because they conceded a bit of a silly goal. Otherwise they were pretty good. So yeah, that one goal conceded and he's only finished on 2 points. So again, I said he's been on my hit list for a while. He has been getting the minutes, but yeah, I think the fixtures are turning now. So Gabriel absolutely smashing it again. 12 points. He's just been absolutely ridiculous since I got him on game week 6. Anderson coming back from injury with 6 points. That was nice. I think a lot of people got rid of him because of the injury, so it's nice to have him. Yeah, he's been so good for my team. Moving into midfield, we had Reinders. Didn't start. Very frustrating. Another one on the hit list. 1 point. I didn't mind at the time because I only had Rodon and Stack on the bench with 1 point, so it was fine. Enzo, slightly disappointed with him since I bought him. 2 points again. Semenyo, 2 points. He's had a few weeks of sort of low scores, but I'm sure he'll come back good again. Bruno Fernandes is continuing the run of delivering points, 5 points. Moving into the forwards, Mateta, 9 points. He was my transfer in, so that's nice to see in the first week you buy him. Haaland, obviously absolutely smashing his captain again. 26 points as captain, and Gyökeres on 7 points and went off at half time. So there's a bit of a roller coaster that, because it's quite nice to see him finally score, but then went off at half time and now he's injured. So yeah, stuff to deal with. But moving on to how I'm lining up for game week 11, we're starting Raya in goal again. Good fixture for Dubravka this week. West Ham away, but Sunderland away for Arsenal. Given Arsenal's defensive performances, it's still going to be Raya. Moving into defence, we've got Guardiola currently. Without making any transfers, we've got Guardiola. I think he starts against Liverpool. I still think he starts most games. It's just the fixtures are turning now. So yeah, they've got Liverpool at home and then they've got Newcastle away in game week 12. So I do think it's probably time for him to go. It's not a definite, but Gabriel again, obviously it's a no-brainer. He's going to start. Anderson. I don't mind that fixture, Everton away. I don't think Everton have been as good as they were at the start of the season, but yeah, I don't mind that fixture, and Anderson's been unreal, so I think I'm probably going to start him. Then we've got Rodon. Don't mind that Nottingham Forest away fixture. I don't think they're a huge goal threat currently, or haven't been in recent times, so perfectly happy for that. It's not a super strong fixture, but yeah, I don't mind starting this week. Senesi, you could toss it up between Rodon and Senesi, but currently I've got them both starting. I've got Reinders on the bench. I think it is for that bench spot. I think it is. It depends if we get any information on Reinders starting. At the moment, I'm going to bench Reinders. I do actually think Reinders starts in this game against Liverpool. I think he is still considered their top 11, one of their starters in the top 11. Their first 11, so I think he starts, but it's just a matter of how many minutes he gets. Yeah, on FPL review I've got him at about 67 minutes, and yeah, at that it kind of has him on the bench. So yeah, I think it's still a toss up between those three, but at the moment I've got Rodon and Senesi starting. Moving on to midfield, Enzo, Fernandes, Wolves at home. This is the fixture, sort of the main fixture that we got him for in this run. So hopefully he finally delivers something on this fixture. He's a good captain shout. I mean, Haaland's got Liverpool at home. It's so hard, given how he's been, to go against Haaland. Enzo Fernandes, if you're not doing so well at this point in the season, I think you can take a punt on Enzo Fernandes to try and shoot you up the ranks, catch up a bit. But yeah, for me, I'm where I want to be, so I'm going to continue to play it quite safe. So yeah, Enzo Fernandez, vice captain. Then we've got Semenyo. Again, it's not a brilliant fixture, so I'm not expecting crazy things, but you never know. He could have a great game and deliver some points. Bruno Fernandes, I think Tottenham away. I don't know. You can't tell with Tottenham. They seem to be up and down. But regardless, as I keep saying, Bruno Fernandes has got so many ways that he can score points that even in tough fixtures he can score points with defensive contributions and maybe a cheeky penalty. So he's still always going to be starting most weeks. But yeah, I don't mind him for getting a few points in that game. Forwards, we've got Mateta. Again, Brighton at home. I think Mateta's going to be starting most weeks. We've bought him for a good run of fixtures, and the strikers are limited this season, so I hope he. Then yeah, as I've mentioned, Haaland at home against Liverpool is the captain currently. I think next week the captaincy gets interesting, but this week still captain Haaland, I think. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Then I've got Reinders, Stack still on the bench, and Gyökeres, who is, I think he's pretty much been confirmed as ruled out, so that's why he's last point on the bench at the minute. So yeah, I've got some stuff to deal with because I've been saying for weeks, Reinders is kind of on the hit list, Stack's on the hit list, Gyökeres now got to deal with, Gvardiol has been on the hit list, and the fixtures are going a bit south now. So yeah, there's a lot to fix. I've got 4 transfers, and I've got 0 free cash to play with. So I've been weighing up, essentially. I've been weighing up basically what other Arsenal player to get. I'll tell you what, the first thing that I actually looked at, which I really wanted to happen and go with, it was based on Gyökeres only being out for game week 11 and then being back after the international break. So if we got some information where it was kind of like saying, oh yeah, Gyökeres, he'll be out for this game, but it's not too bad, and I had good confidence of him getting back to good minutes quickly or immediately in game week 12, then I wanted to do Gvardiol to Reece James, and I tried everything I could to convince myself that it was a good idea, because my first take was I'd just have him for Wolves home, Burnley away, which is a ridiculous couple of fixtures. His minutes have been solid for a fair few Premier League games now, and then I'd sell him in game week 13, and it was kind of based on the fact that as we get towards game week 15, we don't really need to, the sort of value of transfers reduces because we don't really need to hold on to them. So yeah, it was kind of based on just the 2-week punt, thinking it's been pretty nailed for 90 minutes in most of the Premier League fixtures, and I was really excited about it. But when I sort of really thought deeply about it, I think game week 12, I think is very close to a Champions League game, and I think, is it Barcelona we're playing? Yeah, so Burnley fixture is 3 days before Barcelona. So I just think that put a bit of doubt in my mind in terms of minutes that Reece James plays against Burnley, and ultimately that kind of took it out the equation. But I really wanted to do that. That was my first kind of plan. But think a bit more kind of sensibly and long term. I've been weighing up. Essentially, I'm going to be selling Gyökeres now. I think there's too much unknown, and I think we're expecting Havertz back probably not too long after the international break, so we don't know how that's going to impact his minutes, and I think it's probably one of those where you just get rid of him and buy him back later if he's still looking like a good option when he's back fit. So we're going to cash in on him, and who I trade him in for will depend on what third Arsenal spot I want, because you definitely want a third Arsenal for this week because they're against Sunderland away, and it's basically whether I want to go for Saka or Timber. If I want to go for Saka, I have to get Mark Guillot back for 4.2 million to be able to fund him, and then I'll do Reinders to Saka. If I want to get Timber, it'll be Gvardiol to Timber, and I'd need to fund that with Gyökeres still, but I would actually do Gyökeres to Thiago and keep 2.5 million in the bank. There is a potential option to use that 2.5 million to upgrade Reinders in the week, but I actually prefer the options and the kind of safety of having that extra transfer of looking at upgrading Reinders or Stack next week for game week 12, because I think after those two transfers, getting Thiago in and Timber, my team actually looks okay for this week, and I could potentially do more with that money next week and still keep those that extra transfer in case some disaster happens and I have to do a major surgery. So yeah, I've kind of been weighing it up. I think I'm going to go Timber, triple Arsenal defence, because for my team, I think in general Saka's a great option. I think the upside with Saka is, I mean, if you think Saka is definitely on penalties, I know he's going to be on penalties while Gyökeres is out, but if you think long term Saka is 100% on penalties, personally I've always thought that they're still 50-50. But if you think Saka is always on penalties, I think Saka's the one to go for. But personally, I think when Gyökeres is back, it's going to be shared still. And so in the short term, Saka would be great, next couple of fixtures, but then I think he becomes a bit of a less important option when Gyökeres is back. Plus the fact that when Madueke is back, I don't know if he'll take some minutes off Saka. I think he was good enough to give Saka a bit of a break here and there. So there's that factor to weigh in. And plus for my team, because I've got issues with, if I get Saka, I have very little funds to play with. And because I've got issues with Stack and Reinders, and I'd still have Gvardiol in that scenario, I don't want to then have a 4.2 million forward that's not going to play, that's just going to sit on the bench. I haven't got enough secure players that I'm happy with to do that. It's still not a good option for me. I just prefer getting Thiago and Timber and having 2.5 million to deal with Reinders and or Stack or both, and then I've got a really good well-rounded team. It just seems better, it gives me more flexibility. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now, and I think that's where I'm leaning now, and that's my kind of plan transfers. So ultimately my team will end up being Raya, Timber, Gabriel, Anderson, Rodon, midfield Enzo, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, forwards Mateta, Haaland, Thiago, and then I'll have Reinders first bench. I could Senesi second bench, I could switch those over, and then Stack third bench. Yeah, so I think that's kind of where I'm at, and I have actually weighed all this up with potential chip plans. So currently for me, game week 13 is standing out for the free hit. For a long time I was loosely planning around 12, 13, 14, and I think the way things have moved, game week 13 is jumping out, but it's not locked in. So I think I kind of had been holding off to see if anything happens with the fixtures in game week 17, potential blanks and potential doubles in 16, but I think the consensus is, or the chances of all that is quite remote now. So I'm kind of just loosely planning towards what seems like the best option, which is game week 13, and this Thiago and Timber option. It's kind of, it works for that game week 13 free hit, and it works if I don't plan a free hit. So that ticks that box as well. So yeah, I really like the transfer. I think that's what I'm going to go with, assuming there's no crazy things that pop up in the press conferences. But yeah, still planning for a triple captain against West Ham for Haaland in game week 17. It's got Sunderland in 15, but I think Sunderland have been significantly better than West Ham. So unless we see a crazy resurgence from West Ham, which I know they were a little bit better last week, but we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, still planning for that triple captain in 17. I think that's everything from me for today. We'll see how it goes. Hope you have a great game week, and I'll see you in the next video.